Hi, today we are going to make a name that is going to go on the side of your portfolio so that you can tell that it's yours on the portfolio spine. So we are going to make a document like this. It's going to have a picture that goes on the background, and then it's going to have your name, and the picture is going to show through where your name is. So in order to start, you're going to go to your folders icon on your computer and open up your folders. Under your This PC folder, you should see a drive called Fine Arts. When you click on that, there should be a Portfolio Spine Template Letter PSD. That's a Photoshop document. That's the one that we want. You're going to drag that and drop it to your desktop or drop it into Photoshop. When you drop it into Photoshop, it should open. Mine just went ahead and opened directly on mine, so if you don't already have a document open, it should open. So I'm going to open it. It looks like this. So what we are going to do is we are going to look at our workspace first and make sure it's set up. So I put my workspace on Essentials. And I like my tools set up in 2 columns like this. So I click on these little arrows and put them in 2 columns. So we're going to start on the text tool, which is the T. So the shortcut is T. And then we're going to hover over the cursor over the full name until your cursor changes, and you're going to click to get a cursor to edit. Then you're going to just select where it says full name, and then you're just going to start typing your name. So no matter what font it's on, go ahead and type your name. You want your name first and last, your full name, to go in between these blue guides. So these guides here represent where the fold is in the binder spine. So we don't want anything to go above and below the fold for the text. So you can select all of this text by clicking and dragging over it. And up at the top on the control bar underneath the menu bar, you're going to see a place to change your font. Choose something that is thick, the way this one is thick, so that the picture can show through it, not something that's super thin, because if it's super thin, it's not going to look very good with a picture showing through it. So you're going to choose a font that you like. You want to make sure that your full name fits on here, so you may need to use the Move tool, the shortcut is V, to move your name so that it's more centered. If it is cut off like this, you want to make sure it's in the middle and it fits. So if you need to zoom out, you can hit Control minus and you can see if it fits in. Zoom in is Control plus. If you need to resize it, you can use the Move tool and you can hit Control T and you can resize it so it's a little bigger, and you can press Enter to apply the transformation. So you put your name, use the guides, get your name in the middle, and then we're going to find a picture. So I encourage you to get a picture that is your own artwork that you're going to place in the background of your name. So since this is your portfolio, find something that is your own artwork. You may want to go to your Google Drive and download the picture to your desktop, because Google doesn't talk to Photoshop unless you download it onto the computer that you're using from Google. So you could download an image that you would like to use, or you could find something that you've already made in Photoshop. So once you have your image downloaded onto your computer, you're going to go to File, Place Embedded. So Place Embedded is going to embed the photograph into the document. So File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to choose a picture and make sure it is a JPEG, not an HEIC file. HEIC files are not compatible with Photoshop. They're high efficiency format files that are usually at a low resolution and a small drive that is made by phones to keep space on your phone minimal. So we're going to place. When your photo gets placed in here, what you're going to do is you're going to use the bounding box to resize the photo. You may need to zoom out, Control minus. Use the bounding box to resize the photo so that it fits inside this entire canvas. And you may want to rotate it, you may want to move it up or down, but you're going to kind of fit it into where you would like it to fit. Then you're going to press Enter. Enter will apply the transformation. It will cover up your name, and that's okay. All right, so once your photo is there, you're going to go to the Layers panel, and you're going to hover your cursor over the T icon that is right next to your text in your layers with your name, and you're going to hold down the Control key on your keyboard, hold down Control and click on this T. When you do that, the marching ants that are the selection line are going to appear over your name. Because that, if you control and click on an icon for a layer, it selects all the pixels in that layer. So we're going to select all the pixels, and we're going to make sure that the photo layer is selected light gray, like this one. And then we're going to go to the bottom of the Layers panel, and we're going to find the icon that looks kind of like a camera. It's a rectangle with a circle in it, and we're going to add a layer mask. So the photo layer needs to be selected. We have our name selected in the pixels, and then we're going to use this Add a Layer Mask. And you will notice that there is an additional little paperclip symbol on the layer, and then an additional mask that is a stencil that is covering up the picture but showing through where your name is selected. So everything that is black on this mask is covering up the picture, and everything that is white on this mask, you can see in the middle is where my name is showing through the picture. Also, we can see that the mask icon is selected because it has white corners around it, and if I click on the picture, now the picture is selected because it has white corners around it. So we want the mask selected. So we're going to select the mask so that it has white corners around it. Then we are going to add to the mask so that there's more of the picture showing above and below the guides. We're going to use the rectangular marquee tool, which looks like marching ants in a rectangle. Rectangular marquee tool, we're going to start off of the canvas on the top left, and we're going to click and drag all the way to the bottom of the guide, the top guide. So we're going to select the top. So we're going to click and drag and select just the top. Then we're going to find the paint bucket. If you don't see the paint bucket, it's probably because it is underneath the gradient tool. So if you hold down, left click on the gradient tool, you will see the paint bucket. So we want to choose the paint bucket. We want our foreground color, the top color, to be white. And then we're going to click inside the selection to make it white, fill with white, and you'll see on the mask that the top of the mask is filled with white. That allows the picture to show through. Now we still have a selection that's preventing us from doing anything outside of this area, so we need to hit Control D to deselect. Once we're done with that, we'll do the exact same thing on the bottom. We're going to use the rectangular marquee tool. And we're going to select the area under the guide. So I'm going to click and drag at the top of the bottom of the guide and get this bottom section. I still need to be selected on the mask with the white corners showing on the mask with this layer selected light gray. I'm going to go to my paint bucket again, make sure that my color is white and my foreground color is white, and then I'm going to click and I will see that I now have a picture showing through. We're going to deselect again, Control D for deselect, and now we are done. So all we are going to do is print. So we're going to go to File, we'll save, File, Save As. The first way to save is to save to your cloud documents. So when it says Save As, let's put our last name, underscore first initial, underscore title of the assignment. So this is your portfolio spine. So I just put spine, and then you hit save. We're going to save it one more time. You're going to look for your number drive. So you're going to File, Save As. You're going to save on your computer. This time you're going to go back to your number drive. So not the Fine Arts folder. You need to find the one that has your student ID number and save it in there as a Photoshop document. You're going to click Save. Then you're going to get an options window. You're going to click OK. Now let's print. So you see the saving dialog at the bottom. It tells you when it's done. So now we're going to print. We're going to go to File, Print. You need to choose the right kind of paper. If you have a portfolio that needs a sticker, you're going to print on label paper. If you have a portfolio that needs a piece of paper inserted, then you're going to use plain paper. So the printer we're going to use for this class should say MVHS print servers, and it should say art underscore Frida Kahlo. So if you don't see that, you're going to have to look not Frida Kahlo, you're going to look for art underscore Frida Kahlo. And then this is not how I want it to print because I want it to print long ways. So the layout I'm going to change to landscape orientation by clicking on this little landscape orientation, and I'm going to wait for it to reset. This is how your print preview should look before you hit print. Okay, we don't need to worry about the color management right now, but you're just going to hit print. Okay, so we will hit print. It'll tell you that it's larger than the paper's printable area and some clipping will occur because we have gone all the way to the edges. So it doesn't know that you went all the way to the edges. So it's okay to click proceed and it will print. And then you're going to take it to the paper cutter in the back of the room, trim it so that all of the extra white is off of it and it looks just like this. And then you're going to attach it to your binder. Good luck.